We're Stephen and Mags, and together with our 3 kids, Louis, Neve and Oliver, we're starting out on the biggest adventure of our lives, swapping city life for an off-grid homestead. After years of dreaming about making a change, we sold our house in the UK, packed up all our belongings and made the 1,500-mile trip to southern Spain, with the hopes of creating the dream family home and a new life in the sun. Follow our story from the very beginning as we begin the journey of creating our off-grid home. Afternoon everyone. So we've been here a whole week. We've spent the week just exploring the area, getting to know the house, getting unpacked. We're still living in a load of boxes inside the house, but we need to get to work on the outsides of the house. We need to try and make it a little bit more safe for Diego. We're on an asparagus farm, so there are farmers and rabbits and farmers dealing with rabbits in the fields around us, and we just want to make sure that Diego is safe. He keeps running off in between the asparagus, and we're having to call him back, but we're just a little bit worried with him being out there on his own. So we've bought some temporary fencing we're going to try and put up today around the place where we sit outside, just to try and keep him contained a little bit, and so that we're able to open the doors and he can go out by himself and that we don't have to worry. I'll give you a little tour of the property, some of the land, show you what some of our plans are for the time that we're going to be here, and show you a little bit around the inside of the house as well. So, bit of a tour. It's overcast today, but it is really hot. It's been like 40 degrees. It's starting to cool down a little bit now because it's getting late on. But there is the entrance into the house, bedrooms and the office along that way. That's an extra apartment thing next door. And then it takes you out onto what's like, I don't know, a courtyard, a little parking area. This is the bit we're going to be doing for Diego in a minute, and fencing that bit in. But I'll take you down this way. So, I'm not going to take it in the mall, but there's storage buildings along there. Old barn storage in there. And this one we've rented direct with the landlord as opposed to going through an estate agent. So it used to be a family farm. What we really like about it, you can see the asparagus fields just continue on. So there's 30,000 square metres of property that belong to this, but the farmer next door looks after all the asparagus and whatnot. This used to be an animal pen, so Max is desperate for goats and just wouldn't that be a perfect place to keep them. I'll show you down this way. The little feeding troughs in there, as you can see. Obviously it all needs tending to and cleaning up. They were pigeon lofts, apparently, the landlord told us, in here. And then into a barn. Now, I think there's lights, yeah, light. Sorry, there's wasps everywhere. So, they were apparently chicken coops. I mean, everyone needs a really good cleaning here if we were ever going to use this. Chicken coops. And the property's on agricultural water, so it's a cheaper type of water. You can't drink it, but you can use it for the land, and that's all the controls for them in there. Other little pens. Make that camera focus because they're changing light. And then right down to the bottom, and then that leads out into the little pen we're seeing outside. Stuff in there. So that's the barn part of things. And then all these are pomegranate trees. You can see all pomegranates just coming in now. Starting to ripen up and go a little bit red, some of them. But there's just loads of them. Look. So up here where you can see the little cluster of houses, this is like a little B road that leads up, and then the town is just over there in the distance. It's that peaceful. Let me walk it back up. So back where the pomegranate trees are, there's a little, workshop, garage. We're going to use it as a potting shed. So you've seen there was an old wooden table down there, we're going to put that in here. It was here when we come to view it. We're going to put that back in there and use that as a potting shed. And then down here is where we're going to be using for starting to grow some things. So right along here are all the grapevines, and they go right along to the bit where we're going to build in a minute. And then on this side it takes you onto the land, and there's apple trees. That's a Nespero tree. Orange trees in the middle. The ground's that fluffy, my feet are sinking as I'm walking. Oh look, and they've ripened up. So this is the bit of planning to try and grow stuff on. It's got irrigation pipe which runs right along the back, and then all separate little pipes which will be brought out into rows as you go along, which should make watering a lot easier. Little orange is starting to grow, although it looks like it's in desperate need of water. There's more. So that's the land. Right, let's get on with putting this fence together. $55, $60, $65, $70, $75. So we've just been around with the tape measure to measure. We got 100 meters of chicken wire. So we've just been around just to make sure before we start putting posts in the floor that we've actually got enough, and it comes to 70 meters for the perimeter fence that we're going to do all the way around. So we've got enough. Now we need to crack on with working out the distance we want between the poles. So we're going to go and count the poles and see how many we've got all together. Off we go. 18, okay. 18 divided by 75. So we've got 18 posts all together. which means they're going to be roughly every 4 metres. And on the perimeter we've got some other posts that are already in and some trees which can help secure it as well. So we might get away with stretch or bringing them a little bit closer and utilising them as part of the structure as well. What we're worried is that at the minute you just run straight out the door, straight across there and into the field. But this part is the part where we're going to be having all our beds for growing stuff. So we don't want them running or doing this business on the bit where we're going to be growing food. Or off into the asparagus field, which he just takes off like a rocket right up there. So there, like that.
Yeah, that's right. Literally just
Gonna hold it while I bang it.
fine. What do you mean? As a blade?
One measure at once.
Just shows that they don't look. That's it.
90 roughly. 290 roughly. 4 metres.
Yeah, no, tiny bit. That's it. Yeah.
So we've come across a problem. The plan to put them all the way along there has just gone out the window because this whole patch along here seems to just have concrete just below the surface. So just below there it's a bed of concrete and there's no getting through it with a wooden pole. So what we're going to try and do instead is, for the grapes, there's already trellis framework along, so without disturbing the grapes too much, we're going to try and attach it to the poles that are cemented in and see if we can do it that way until we get to the end, and then we're able to put the poles back in across there. We're going to give that a go. So I've just had a thought about how we're going to roll out the chicken wire. I want to stick it on the end of this pole and see if it'll roll out. Well, Max is going to roll it and see if it'll roll out. So let's have a go.
Right, so we're getting there. We sort of tried to work it out, but we've had to start using cable ties because the concrete runs all the way along on this section. So we started using cable ties just along the little wire, because there is a wire all the way along for the grapevine. So our plan now is we're going to go quite far around with it. We're just going to take it up to this post and then sort of come back round and round to the tree. So then it just makes like a natural corner. This is where we sit anyway, so we're most concerned about them getting out from there. Everywhere else we will take them for a walk on the lead anyway. So we're more concerned about where we sit and that we can just play around where we are. So that's our plan for now. And we'll see how we get on.
Just to that corner you're going, where the brick is?
Yeah, just to the brick, and then that way it's like a natural
Okay.
stop really to the tree.
You could do it to the tree and the little vine there and the wire in the middle.
Yeah, that's it, because there's a couple of ties.
Okay.
High points
And then we
there.
need to see if we can get poles in there.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, okay. So we've got the temporary fence in for Diego. It goes from this corner all the way up, right up to the top, and then round the corner. There are a few little spots that we're going to have to get a few more cable ties for, or a solution for securing at the bottom so we can't get underneath. But pretty much it's done. We're going away tomorrow, and everywhere's shut in Spain on a Sunday, so there's no chance of getting it anyway. But yeah, it's in, it's done for now. We've got a few last things to do. Some of the plants we bought from our old house we're just going to plant on the other side of the fence to try and take that bare look off it, and plus then they've got access to soil while we're away, because currently they're only just in water. So let's get on with that. We'll get the red bucket, and then we could take them too, because they're probably most in need. Yeah. So I think a storm is blowing in, the wind's just picked up terrible, and there's dust everywhere. So we're going to call it a day for today. We've finished the fence, we've planted the plants, we've done as much as we can for today. So we're going in, the last bit of packing to do.
Yeah, we're knackered. We've still got to do tea, and we've still got to pack and have showers for tomorrow.
Yeah, dust. And then we're off on 2 weeks holiday, so we're going to enjoy it. Right, we'll see you on the next one. Don't forget, please like, subscribe, share, comment, whatever you want underneath. Really appreciate it. Take care.
For watching.
Thanks for watching. Bye bye.
Bye.